everyone, and welcome to Holistic Healing with Tella. So today we're going to be talking about the heart chakra, right, which is our fourth chakra, and it's all about connecting to ourselves. And I hope that you're enjoying this chakra series, because I'm enjoying it too, because spirit is, as I'm going through each chakra, spirit is dealing with me in every avenue. Chakra is in our heart. It's also on the center of our spine on the heart level. The interesting thing about the heart chakra, which I love so much, is that the heart chakra is the chakra that starts the physical. So it's the start of the physical chakras. Neck and up are our spiritual chakras. Heart and down are our physical chakras, right? This is a part of our chakras where we do a lot more feeling. Also, the chakra that connects our spiritual chakras to our physical chakra is like connecting earth to spirit. You ever heard the phrase, I'm a spiritual being having a physical experience, right? So this is a chakra that we use to be able to bring in our spirit and then couple it with our physical experience. On a spiritual level, the heart chakra is all about unhurting the heart. Our heart carries a lot of hurt in it, whether that is from traumatic situations, heartbreak, things not working out the way that we want to, disappointment of ourselves, disapproval of ourselves, or the things that we went through, or the choices that we made. And so as we are going through this heart chakra, and we're learning how to heal the heart chakra, it's also important that you understand that this is about unhurting the heart chakra. The biggest way that we're going to see change is by unhurting ourselves, right? Undoing a lot of the trauma that has been done to us, unlearning the things that have been taught to us. So the most important piece about the heart chakra is the part of us that connects us to ourselves. So as we are connecting to ourselves, we are learning the things that we like, things we don't like. We're learning about the things that are true about us, the things that are untrue about us. We're learning about the things that work for us, the things that don't work for us, right? And that is really coming into connection with ourselves. That is how we create self-love within ourselves, right? Because now I truly know the truth about myself. The spiritual chakra also focuses on compassion, self-compassion, empathy, forgiveness of yourself and of others. You ever heard of the slogan, this person died from a broken heart? It's a very true statement. All that hurt that's in our heart, that's energy, right? And energy cannot be destroyed, it only can be transformed. So if that energy is not transformed, it's staying right here. It's staying right inside our bodies, right? And then it has the ability, like we had talked about before with the throat chakra, to start to cause distortion, where the heart was once pink and green and full of life, right? That negative energy, that sad energy, that trauma that we weren't able to release ourselves from, now is causing issues within that area. Some of those issues could look like loneliness, feeling like nobody really cares about you, feeling like nobody really sees you, nobody really pays attention to you. A lot of our insecurities show up in our heart area, right? They show up in the other chakras too, but the insecurity about who you really are, right? Like if you feel like you're not tapped in to your true self, that insecurity is going to pop up, and you're going to want to stay disconnected. You're never going to feel like you're measuring up, and you don't need to. Nobody's telling you to. But in the heart chakra, you're going to feel like, if I can't prove myself to them, then I must have to hide myself from them. In our loneliness or our wanting to hide from others, we start putting walls up, right? And then it's funny because the walls start to justify why we're doing what we're doing. Well, I don't want to be around other people because other people don't like me. That's a wall you created. I don't want to hang out with my friends because I feel like they truly don't care about me. That's a wall you created, right? And not saying that there's no truth to any of those things, but a lot of it, if we are isolating ourselves, there are walls that we are creating, and then we are putting justification behind it, which then justifies our behavior. That's an area that we need to fix, because the heart chakra is easily hurt, When we are in that space of loneliness, of defeat, of brokenheartedness, we are easily hurt. The smallest things have the ability to deplete us, right? Even the simple thing of somebody giving you constructive criticism, you're shut down. That's the heart chakra saying, you gotta do some more building around this area, because people that love you and care about you are gonna give you feedback. They're gonna give you constructive criticism. But if you put that wall up and nobody really cares about me, and then here somebody comes and gives you some feedback, now you're shut down. Right? Now you're brokenhearted, or now you feel like people don't really see you, right? But you are hiding, so you barely see yourself. This is also where resentment and bitterness can lie. Because as we're talking about like the insecurities and worries that we have in our heart, if those things are unaddressed, we can start to feel a way about people because we're not connected to ourselves. Because how did you get the thing that I wanted? In those moments, we have to know that that is truly a disconnection from ourselves. If I'm so angry at you because you got this thing that I've always wanted, where I really need to be going within and search my heart and figure out, why am I not able to get this thing? Is this thing out of my alignment? Because certain things we're just not supposed to have. Everything is not for everybody. You got this thing, you got this award, you got this accolade. I need to search my heart and see if that's even in my path, if that's even in my alignment, if I'm even supposed to have that. That may not be part of my story. It may be part of her story or his story. It may not be part of my story. But let's say I've been told this is part of my story, right? I'm supposed to have that accolade. I'm supposed to have that award. I'm supposed to have that thing that person has now gotten. I need to search my heart and figure out what is it that I need to do, or what energy I need to be in, or if I'm just still in the waiting season, or I'm still in the building season, or it's just not my time for that thing yet. You have to be mindful of is to not be so focused on what is going on over here that you cloud your heart and your judgment with bitterness and resentment, because that deters your blessings from coming. Because we have the ability to really repel greatness from us. We have the ability to repel things from the things that we truly desire from coming into our life because of that bitterness, that anger, that self-defeat, that resentment that we have towards others. Because what we give to others is a direct reflection of how we truly feel about ourselves. And also, spiritually speaking, when we're in that mode, we're unable to receive love. We're unable to receive self-love and unable to receive love from others. So we talked about the spiritual imbalances. I kind of just swirled into that. But let's talk now about the physical imbalances. How is this showing up in our physical world? Sometimes it's easier to notice the physical things and then start to do the emotional work. And sometimes it can be harder to know the emotional things that are impacting the physical, our physical body. And so some of the physical things could be fear of intimacy, right? And that could be on a romantic level, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Am I fearful to be connected to people in relationships, right? Platonic relationships, friendships, partnerships, groups, so on and so forth. That fear of intimacy, right? Because intimacy is not just the sexual thing, it's a connection with somebody else. Do I feel safe enough, secure enough, bold enough in myself, and connected enough to myself to then create a friendship that is outside of myself? Sometimes it's hard to bring all of those emotions to a friendship, to a relationship, right? We always talk a lot about like, it's hard for me to really express how I truly feel because in my body, it makes sense. But sometimes when it's coming out, it doesn't make sense, right? Or it's harder to get it out, right? So there may be this fear of intimacy because either I don't know how to translate how I feel to other people, or I've been hurt so much and I'm so scared that if I show my true self to you, that you're gonna reject me, especially if we also reject ourselves and we have self-judgment towards ourselves. It also can show up as depression. and emotional instability. Emotional instability is really like emotional outbursts. Like I have these big responses, or I have no response at all. There's really no in between. I'm either a very aggressive communicator or I'm a very passive communicator, right? The goal is really to be assertive. When we are out of balance in our heart chakra, it can lower our immune system. A lot of times we get sick when we're already not feeling good. I already done had a hard day and all of a sudden now I got a cold. It doesn't happen like that all the time. So everybody's situation is not. Don't be self-diagnosing people like, oh, you sick because your heart chakra. Right? Now, granted, sometimes it can go hand in hand. But don't be out there self-diagnosing people. Don't do that. But it can lower our immune system, because if I have a broken heart, right? If I'm sad, if I'm beat down, if I feel like I have no hope, that is showing up in my body, right? And my body is starting to also feel sad, also feel depressed. And now my ability to even wear off a cold has decreased. Especially if you went through a lot of grief, it's sitting in here, right? It's sitting directly in your heart. If you've lost people tragically, had multiple traumas, especially when you have traumas back to back. You know, I know 2020 was one of those years where people were just losing people back to back, right? And if you have a story like that, you might have a lot of grief and you might find yourself sick a lot. It can increase infections, increase issues with our heart and lungs, poor circulation, and breathing difficulties. Our heart is our engine. You must take care of the heart if you want the rest of the body to be in balance. You got to maintenance the heart. You got to heal the heart for the rest of the body to be into balance. You take this part out, nothing else runs. Now, God forbid, we can, there's certain chakras we probably could live without if we had to. Certain limbs, we can't live without our heart. We are not machines. We are not robots. We can't live without our heart. So this is so important that we get to a place where we're healing our heart, healing the grief, right? Healing the tragedies, healing the things that, weren't our fault and were put onto us, and healing the things that were our fault and the choices that we made. We have to heal all of that, because as we heal and we have compassion for ourselves, we come closer connection to ourselves. So the way that we balance this out is through the affirmation, I love. Now you can see I got my green on, right? Because the heart chakra is all about green. It's also all about pink too. I did not have to fight for the Stanley Cup. I want you to know that. I grabbed it right off the rack and safely and soundly. Nobody went up inside my head about no Stanley. But I just want to say that because I don't want you to think I'm one of those people who had to fight for this. So, yeah. Anyways, the affirmation is, I love myself. I love myself. As you're saying this, search your heart too, right? Because a lot of us do love ourselves, and a lot of us also don't love ourselves, and we think that we do. Sometimes we love parts about ourselves, but we don't always love our full self. And so as you are saying, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, make sure to search your heart and see if there's any inklings that say, I don't like what I did 2 weeks ago though. So outside of that, I love myself, right? Search your heart and get to a place where even in the midst of mistakes, even in the midst of failures, even in the midst of things not going the way that you thought they would, you can still say, I love myself, right? I love everything about myself. And I also receive love fully from other people, because I was not made to be alone. I need to learn how to give love and also receive love. That is the balance of a heart chakra. A heart chakra can't give. The heart is going to run out of energy. And I can't receive, because now I'm out of flow. Now I'm taking on more than I'm giving out. You have to give love and you have to receive love. Right? If you're doing too much of one, you're out of balance. I already said this, but the colors are pink and green. The element is air. getting out into nature, getting out into fresh air. Another way to balance out the heart chakra, right? 'Cause we talked a lot about, the things that have hurt the heart that we are needing to heal. The best way to heal, amongst many things, but the best way to heal or to start with is acceptance. You have to accept that whatever has happened. Some things were in your control, some things were out of your control. It happened, and you have to accept it. You have to accept that it is what it is now. And those things are okay. Because now, if something didn't go the way that you wanted to, now you have the awareness, the intuition to not change it. That thing that happened to you never has to happen to you again. You have accepted it, you acknowledge it, and now you have the steps to put behind it to make sure that the true desire, the true outcome that you want to happen, you are now accessible to it. Transformation. We have to allow ourselves to transform. You can't be 16-year-old you, right, and want 30-year-old outcomes. You gotta let parts of you go, which means you gotta accept that it happened so you can allow the transformation to happen. You gotta still love 16-year-old you, but you can't be her and still get the outcome that you are looking for. Healthy boundaries. Oh my goodness, child. His may be a video all in itself some other time. Healthy boundaries. We can never truly be in balance with our heart if we don't have healthy boundaries. We cannot let people treat us any kind of way and be in balance. That's not balance. Letting people walk all over you, talk to you crazy, do what they want, do things that are outside of what's safe for you. Now, we have to sometimes step outside of our box and so on and so forth. If it does not feel safe in your body, you should not be agreeing to it. You should not be saying yes to it. You should not be in connection to it. Those things go against yourself. And anything that you allow to go against yourself is a betrayal to yourself, which is a betrayal to your heart. We must set healthy boundaries. When I was talking about the giving and receiving, if you are a giver, this part is specifically for you. You can't give out more love than you receive. It is a law, right? Because I know your mind is like, well, I'm a giver, so I'm supposed to just give. You're not. You're not supposed to just give. Love, healthy love. The healthiest of love still has conditions. We can love somebody unconditionally and still know that they cannot be in our life because they don't respect our boundaries. You need to learn that it's okay for you to receive love, for you to be in a place of reciprocal energy. The giver runs themselves dry when they don't receive the love that they're giving out. You're gonna run yourself ragged. And if you're listening to my voice, you probably already have. Trying to give so much love in ways that you're not experiencing for yourself. And if you find yourself giving out more love than you receive, I want you to just internally take a step back and see why that is. Am I doing this because I feel like people only love me for what I can do for them, what they can get from me? Do I struggle to say no because I don't want people to be upset at me or think that I don't love them, that I have to show my love through acts of service, through the things that I do for other people, instead of knowing that people should love me because of who I am? Not for who they want me to be, but for who I am. On my worst days, I should still be loved. Even when I can't run you to that place, I should still be loved. Even when I can't show up for you in that way because I may not have the capacity, I should still be loved. So, healthy boundaries, Bookie. Healthy boundaries is what makes our heart strong and resilient. It feels so good to receive the things that we give out. And that is something that's a place that we have to stay in. That's a balance that we have to stay in. You have to have healthy boundaries to have in-depth relationships. But breath work and meditation, because it helps us kind of come into our heart. So when we are together in these videos, we are in our heart space together. We're coming into our bodies together, right? To figure out what it is, the areas that we're struggling in. Let's say if you're struggling in the heart area, by just exercising, stretching, moving your body, you're circulating that blood flow, right? And when the heart is out of balance, we know that circulation is slowed down or decreased significantly. So that's a way that we can get it going. I need to remember to put like the crystals and stuff, but the essential oils can be jasmine and cypress oil. The foods are like bright green foods, so kale, spinach can also be one. All vegetables, I love like cucumbers and pickles, so that's like my thing. So remember, chakras go with the colors, right? So whether that means you're dressing the green or pink, right, or you are eating foods that are green, right, these are all different things that you can use to help to come into balance with that chakra, or be at least in awareness with that chakra. So I hope that this was helpful. This is chakra number 4, right, our foundational chakra. I hope this is helpful. If you have questions or concerns, feel free to leave them in the chat, and I also provide my social media. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's Tella, and I had a great time. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, goodbye.